Hello everyone, in this video I'll be playing a game called Survival. The version of the map that I'm playing on is 1.382. I'm in a lobby with, I want to tell you, 9 players. Some of them were from the Discord channel, so they're going to be in the video. Keep in mind, if you do have any interest in playing some Warcraft 3 games with me, feel free to pop in that Discord. I posted the link to it in a recent video of mine, but I'll probably post it again shortly, or maybe in this video's description in case more people want to play. So the gist of this game is that you have to survive 4 different planets, and on each planet you have the ability, or well, not the ability, you fight against waves of enemies so that your goal is just to survive 4 different planets against waves of enemies. So the first planet here is Earth, and you only have 1 wave of enemies to fight. At the end of each wave, you fight a boss. The boss on Earth, I believe, is just called the Hydralisk or something, and it's pretty easy to beat. I'm pretty sure that I have never lost against the Hydralisk because he's just a pretty easy class. Some things to quickly explain that I didn't right when the game started. You'll probably have noticed that I picked up an orange crate. The orange crate that I picked up is called a profession. I picked up miner because that's just a pretty simple and fun class to play. The other professions are constructor, often referred to as builder, archaeologist, alchemist, and healer. Ideally, every single player will have a profession because there is no downside to having one. Let's see, Corporal Flower. So he just needs to walk around the ground to find a orange kit. I believe it spawns enough for every player, however, I unfortunately cannot I mixed up my colors. I thought that was a blue plant. So a blue plant can be converted into electric liquid if you use the... Oh, man. I'm used to being a higher level. That was really dumb of me. So a blue plant can be converted... let's see here. A blue plant, which I believe, I can't actually remember what it's called, but next time I'll point it out when I pick it up, can be converted at, okay, so it's called a Thunderbloom bulb, and it can be converted into electric liquid. There is a chance that it fails and will disappear out of your inventory, as you just noticed, and if that happens, all the resources will just be lost. So, kind of sucks, but that's RNG for you. So what I just did there was called generate heat. You'll notice earlier I picked up a piece of gold ore, and if you generate heat and are successful, the gold ore will get upgraded into a gold bar. A gold bar is worth double the price of gold ore, so it's basically an easy gamble to succeed at, and if you win, you'll double your money. So yeah, it's a pretty good thing to do. Alright, so once you reach, I'm just going to say the 5-minute mark, unfortunately I don't know the exact time, a set of yellow crates will drop, and the yellow crates will contain basic armor or heavy armor. You can't wear heavy armor unless you have 10 points in Constitution. Constitution is one of the 4, I guess you could call these abilities available to the Marine hero. The game has 5 different heroes available. One of them is the Templar. The other choices are Marine, Chaos Knight, Pet. I think it's called Pet anyway. And I think it might just be called Gyrocopter or Helicopter. It's basically just the Warcraft 3 helicopter unit. And essentially, the 2 classes that you'll generally want to pick are either Templar if you're going as a support character, or Marine if you're not. Marine just does the most DPS, and Templar is the best for supporting thanks to his mental aura. I believe it gives mana regen, so yeah, that's definitely a valuable one to have. So a player that I told, Sword Kirby, I told him to go become the commander. Normally, normally the player with the lowest rank that is able to become commander should become commander, because higher rank players get more income. which in turn means that the active commander will also get more income. So if, let's just say Lance, I believe Corporal might be able to go commander, but it's been a while. Assuming Corporal could go commander, they would be the ideal choice because their income is probably 10 gold per 10 seconds, and you'll notice my income is 190 gold per 10 seconds. So by distributing it like that, it just makes it so the commander has more gold to work with, which means they can do more researches more quickly. So researches are these blue things. Each of them unlock different, different like abilities for the ship. I'll show you guys the ship very soon. I'll probably warp up there in like a minute or two. For right now, just gonna stay on Earth to make sure I get as much EXP as possible. The ideal time to go to the ship is once you beat the planet's boss. Beating the boss will give you, I believe, a 1-minute intermission before the next planet starts. So yeah, you won't miss out on anything if you go then. So you'll notice that all these plants are dropping. Plants are usually used by the alchemist and the... Let me just move this water. Oh, I picked up the coal. Alright. So plants are usually used by the alchemist. However, the alchemist is an almost worthless role. That's why generally privates who've never played before are the people who pick alchemist. The reason why alchemist is so bad is because healing potions are completely worthless because they are completely outclassed by the healer profession. And their other potion, one of them is useful. It's called an elixir, and that can regenerate mana. But even then, that's their best potion as far as usage goes. And that's only 60 mana over 60 seconds. That's pretty bad. You can combine these and upgrade it into 120 mana per 60 seconds, I think. But even then, that's on the weaker end of professions in this game. So, I just realized I forgot to do the electromagnetic grenade. So the electromagnetic grenade can be made by combining electric liquid, which is made from blue plant, and just that. And then then the second step of it is you need to get a lodestone. Lodestones can only be acquired by using the mining pick, which is one of the abilities of the miner profession. And when you use the mining pick, it just picks up random items from the ground. So you'll notice this is the third time I've got gold ore. You usually don't find it that often, but I'm not complaining. That's essentially free money. So let me do this one more time. The trick with the knowledge book is to, due to I guess you could call it a bug in Warcraft 3, every time you level up a profession, it will reset the cooldowns inside. Now, I don't know if that's universal across Warcraft 3 or just this game, but either way, it's quite useful for trying to optimize your playstyle, you could say. Because what happens is, so if I do a long cooldown thing, such as power armor, and I use so let's just say power armor has a 20-second cooldown. If I save my knowledge upgrade till after I attempt that, I can reset the cooldown and then give it another attempt immediately. The upside to this is time. The downside is you'll roast through all your mana quickly. However, since we have a Templar on our team with a mana aura, mana shouldn't be an issue assuming you're a medium-high rank. So what I'm going to do right now is warp up to the ship while they fight the boss using my teleport to battleship ability, which is obtained from the knowledge profession. I'm going to go sell these gold bars because they're completely useless outside of selling them. And I will pick up another iron ore and use the generate heat. So that was actually quite lucky. I believe there is a 50% chance for that to fail, so getting 2 successes in a row, it's actually pretty good. I've had games where I failed that like 10 times in a row. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, this is limited to people, I believe, once again, corporal or higher. You can go over to this circle here, and once the commander has made the training center, which is one of the blue things here, you get access to this menu. And what you can do here is raise your stat points by 1 per click, and it's relatively cheap. You can get like 15 to all stat points for like 500 gold. What I generally do is spend about 3,000 because there's gold doesn't really have that much use as long as the commander is able to sustain. So if the commander is running low on gold, obviously don't do this, but assuming that the commander isn't running low on gold, this is one of the first things you want to do. So I usually stop once I reach the 256, because then it gets too pricey to be worthwhile. And now you'll notice that I just got an extra 100 HP roughly and like an extra 50 mana. So now I'm just kind of on steroids in comparison to some of these other guys. Alright, so that was successful, and the last thing I'll purchase on the ship is called the machine gun. The machine gun is a marine only ability, and yeah, so the machine gun is a marine only ability, and it gives you a 200% boost to attack speed in exchange for a 35% chance to miss. If you run the numbers, you will end up doing more DPS, I'm pretty sure. So if you have the opportunity, you always want to pick up this item. So the next thing I'm going to do here to free up an inventory slot is make another electromagnetic grenade. Unfortunately, I failed. When you fail the grenade, though, you don't waste any items. So I still have both of them in my inventory and can use them at any time. Alright, so I'll be able to give that another attempt shortly. I'm just going to make sure I keep mining here. I believe I showed this off, but as you continue your profession, you'll gradually rank up. And as you rank up, it gets slightly better. I think it reduces the cooldown and the mana cost. So this originally cost 30, but now it only costs 20. So it's 10 mana cheaper, and it just keeps getting cheaper. Alright, so what I'm looking for here is a power crystal. You'll remember earlier that I was talking about this having a long cooldown. So I'll give that a go. Now I'd have to wait 20 seconds. But instead, I saved this upgrade. Now I can try right again. And there we go. So I now have a power armor. Power armor is a essential upgrade in the game. It is the best armor that a marine can wear. And it actually might be the best armor for every class except for the Chaos Knight. But we don't have a Chaos Knight in this game, so yeah. Let me see if I can find any coal on the ground here. Coal is... there we go. So once I do this, I can give power armor another go shortly. I want to scout for the next map or just stones? Scout for the lava map. Yeah, so there's 4 planets in this game, and he's saying should he make scout towers on the second map, or should he save the resources for the third and fourth map. And in my opinion, you generally always want to save the scout towers for the fourth and third map. The third map is generally where things start to get difficult in this game. The second map, not so much. So I just got really lucky. I generated 2 power armors within 3 tries, so that's really good. So you just got to make sure someone picks it up. I'll manually pass it to someone if no one actually goes there, but hopefully someone picks it up. Alright, looks like purple picked it up, and that's completely fine. It honestly doesn't really matter who picks it up as long as someone does. Because you'll notice just having that power armor and those stat boosts I purchased earlier, I now have 700 HP instead of the starting quantity of like 350, so yeah, it's really important. Power armor specifically gives 320 life, 8 armor, 25% magic resistance, and you heal 10 HP every 5 seconds in exchange for 1 mana. So you'll generally never notice the mana lost. I'm honestly not even sure why they included it, but you will definitely notice the extra survivability. If you don't have power armor, you'll usually end up losing on the second or third planet, but if you do have power armor, it'll be a lot more So I've been getting extremely lucky. I just got 3 power armors done on the first planet. I've had games where I haven't been able to make a single one by the 4th planet, or by the, I don't know why I just said 4th. I've had games where I haven't been able to make a single one by the 3rd planet. And when you don't have them, it can be extremely brutal. But yeah, we've just got really, I've been very lucky with that. So I'm going to teleport back up to the battleship. Normally, I think that has a 2-minute cooldown, but you'll remember that little trick I talked about earlier to refresh it instantly. Unfortunately, I can't believe I forgot to show this off. The abilities of knowledge, this is going to be rough, but from what I recall, it's I think you gain like 40% more experience or something, and you also gain like 200% mana regen. So basically it just makes you able to craft more often and whatnot. Generally, between waves, you want to teleport up to the ship so that you can continue crafting. If you don't teleport up to the ship, you'll just lose the opportunity. And then the other cool thing, so I'm going to send all my gold to the commander here with the -PA command. The other cool thing is you can actually, if you time it right, you can get to the planet before all other players. Now, I'm not sure if I timed it right. No, looks like I didn't. But yeah, if you do it really precisely, you can actually land on the planet slightly before everyone else. Alright, so I just got a fourth iron bar, and we're only on the second planet here, so this is looking to be a really good game. So now, as long as I can pull up a piece of coal, we'll be in a good spot here. I could take that elixir to restore some of my mana, but I don't think it's a high enough priority to be worth doing just yet. So I'm going to make another grenade. Alright, so let me just show off some key abilities here. The level 10 ability on knowledge is called Communicate. And Communicate is essentially mind control. You can just steal an enemy from, you can just make an enemy work for you. And this is really important, especially on the third planet. But on the second planet, wait, what did that guy say? Alien Art 4. Okay, that's great. Alien Artifact 4 is a dome that the commander can use. Well, ideally the commander, but it doesn't have to be them. And the commander can use it to make, to summon enemy units for the cost of population only. Oh, why did you... So that guy just wasted it. Oh well. Nothing can be done about that. But yeah, you usually want to save those for planet 3 or 4. Using it on planet 2, you're going to win planet 2 either way, especially when you have all the players with power armor. So yeah, that's just blowing through an extremely valuable resource. So there we go. That is my... I think this started with 6, so that'd be my 4th power armor created. So what I'm going to do right now is just check to see who still doesn't have power armor. So, keep doing some more digging here. So power armor. Also, got to keep remembering to communicate whenever possible. Let me just walk out a little bit. It's nighttime right now, so I can't see very far. Alright, there we go. The reason why you want to walk out is so that the towers don't kill the unit before you can take them. So the next ability that I always upgrade is accuracy. So the first 10 levels I do knowledge, the next 10 I do accuracy, and then on the off chance you make it above level 20, it's rare but can happen. I usually either put some points into luck, usually luck. I find constitution just is not needed, and if you get luck, your DPS will increase. And as the saying goes, the best defense is a good offense. So that's the strategy I like to employ there. So let me see if there's any more iron ore on the ground. Failed. Yep, that's the usual result. As I mentioned, I've been unbelievably lucky. Alright. Here, I'll just send this guy 400 gold, because it sounds like he's on the ship. And then I'll send the rest of mine to the commander. So let's see here. Alright, so my next plan of strategy, also on this planet, this is the best unit to take. My next plan of strategy is to make a neutron bomb. The item is bugged, so when you use the neutron bomb, it gives you like some really impressive warning. It's like, you must get off the planet or you will die. But then you use it and no enemies die, and I don't even think you die. I think it just does nothing. So yeah, that's it's like the biggest cop out in the game. Like, you think you're doing something really cool, and is literally just nothing at all. It might kill you. I never actually try it without using my magnetic shield, so I mean 50-50 on that. But either way, yeah, it's pretty lame. Alright, so let's give this another go. So that's 3 or 4 failures in a row, and this is demonstrating what can happen at the start of the game. Like, if that occurs and you aren't able to get any power armors going, it's just tough luck. So, alright. Oh yeah, I forgot to show off this herb bed. The herb bed was constructed by Corporal Flower. Anyone with the constructor class is able to do it, and it gives access to essentially unlimited of each plant, because the cooldowns on them are super low. So if you pair that with active mining, and you can just make a ton of load grenades, or electromagnetic grenades. But unfortunately, I was not really paying enough attention earlier, so I only have 4. So it said I gathered an iron ore, and I can see it, but it looks like I can't quite pick. There we go. Alright, classic 5 fails in a row. So just gotta keep hoping to get lucky with the mining here. Sounds like an ally died. You know what, to be honest, that's the least important ally. That guy was kind of being ridiculous earlier. I think I muted him at the start of the game because he was saying some racist things in chat, so you're definitely not missing out on much if that guy leaves. Ideally, no other allies will die, though. So yeah. Also, if you weren't noticing, you'll notice that I'm missing a ton of shots because of my machine gun. And each level of accuracy that I get will reduce the chance of the machine gun missing. It's 1% chance decreased per level of accuracy and luck. So if you have 10 accuracy, you only have a 25% chance to miss, and if you somehow get to level 30, you'll only have a 15% chance of missing. But you're not going to get to level 30. So, yeah. Alright, let's give this another go. There we go. Just finally got another iron bar. So my plan, I think I mentioned this earlier, is to make a neutron bomb. So to do that, I need to take this nuclear waste. Nuclear waste can be found by mining, and it can also... Well, that's it. So if you want to be able to make the best weapon in the game, well, sort of the best weapon in the game, you need to have a miner and at least a level 8 crafter, I believe. So first, let me see here. Wait a minute. What was the question? Okay, so it looks like someone still needs power armor. So before I go ahead and make the neutron bomb, I'll make another power armor here. Neutron bomb is a great item, but since you don't really need it till Planet 4, there's no rush. Let's see here. So I'm just going to warp up to the ship while I wait on these long cooldowns. Once you reach like rank 5 or something, you get access to teleport to battleship. It's pretty much the exact same as this one, but with a higher mana cost and a much lower cooldown. And the reason I warped up here was just to give another go at iron ore. It failed, so oh well. I think some dude mentioned he needed lumber, so I'll just bring down one piece. Unfortunately, my inventory is almost completely full, so I couldn't actually take much with me. Alright, let's see if I get anything here. Oh, nice. It's actually a pretty good haul. Alright, and disintegrated. So, I'm going to move up here, drop off one piece of wood. Alright, so this is wave 2 of 2 on the second planet. The first one was that little flyer dude. Can't remember their names, unfortunately. The second wave is made of witches, I guess. Cursorer. Yeah, basically there's 2 forms of these units. There's Cursorer Mage and Cursorer Junior here. And then finally the boss is just a really big form of them. The boss isn't the hardest in the game, but in my opinion it is one of the most annoying. The boss has the ability to polymorph you and do like an AoE silence. So what happens is you just end up having to wait a ton of time. Because if you're the unlucky person who ends up getting polymorphed, you just can't do anything. So, yeah, hopefully you don't get targeted. If you're a high rank like I am, you do have the ability to use the magnetic shield, which while you're invulnerable, enemies can't do anything to you, so that is a possible option. Did blue pick up the... let's see. Alright, so blue has not picked it up yet, but he does still need it. So that means I can finally make, or start putting towards effort into making the neutron bomb. So as my luck appears to have changed, another failed iron ore. The good news is, sounds like no one else needs power armor, but of course this guy just decided not to say anything. So we do still need more power armor. Looks like he's a miner, but I guess maybe he's not going for crafting, because I don't know if he's made a single power armor this game. Alright, so get another level of accuracy here. I guess I'll show off the neutron gun while I just kind of wait for cooldowns. The neutron gun allows you to hit 4 targets at the same time. You get 50 additional damage and 50% increased attack speed. So if you're in a level where you're just getting swarmed by enemies, then that's a fantastic weapon. But on the flip side, if you're a single target, this will actually boost your DPS higher, I believe. Someone can run the numbers on that, but I'm relatively confident that that's the case. I guess I'll show off this building right before it dies. 10 damage, pretty fast. As mentioned earlier, you don't want to waste it, but what can you do? Thankfully, that guy has left the game, so we don't have to worry about that issue. Alright, let's look for some more iron ore on the ground here. Alright, there isn't it. Oh, there's one. And a gold ore perfectly hidden below it. I found a stone. Okay, so I guess I'll just explain the other classes real quick here. The builder uses stones. The archaeologist finds items on the ground, and he can identify them to get powerful artifacts like the alien dome that we wasted. The healer, pretty self-explanatory, has a healing aura and an individual greater heal. The alchemist has the ability to create weak potions. The best of the alchemist potions is called the greater elixir. But you'll notice, thanks to the Templar, I'm always on full mana. So, yeah, Alchemist is just one of those classes where it's kind of like, why is this in the game? Okay, so here's one of the more fun items that the Archaeologist can find. It's called the Alien Egg, and it spawns a Hydralisk on steroids that will fight against the enemy for, I'm just going to ballpark, 3 minutes or something. So yeah, it's one of the better finds. Now put Rune into Tower. Interesting. I have not, generally, yeah, I just have not experienced that. I guess apparently you can put a rune into the tower. I actually hope someone does that, because I have no idea what it does. Probably something pretty cool, though, like maybe a armor aura or something. Aw, man. See, polymorph. It's just, this boss. Alright, just gotta spam that. Yeah, my goal here is to just try to make as many, to try to use generate heat as much as possible, so that we can use up all this iron ore before all this stuff disappears in the next planet. I don't think I mentioned it earlier because I thought it was a little apparent, but nothing from the previous planet transfers to the next one except for your heroes. So if you leave, let's say, a power armor on the ground and no one picks it up, it's just gone. No one gets the opportunity to use that power armor. What in the world are our healers doing? Oh, it must just be silenced. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I mean, this is by far not the best run we've had, but I don't think anyone's going to die. I'm just going to use an electromagnetic grenade to to ensure that, because, yeah. Alright. Also, make sure when you're next to the boss when it dies, or else you can miss out on a lot of EXP. Because the bosses are the best sources of experience in the game. So for some reason this person got assigned the EXP. I think it's based on who gets the last hit, so I guess he must have got it. Holy cow, I am getting a ton of nuclear waste. I think we have 5 nuclear wastes on this planet alone. I'm just going to pick up 2 of them and move them to the ship. Alright. There we go. Looks like that guy purchased some wood, but I guess what I'll do here is I'll just start buying some and placing it on the ground. Yeah, once again, as I said, this is just some spare time that you have in between planets. Also going to drop this electric liquid and machine gun to speed this up. Alright, now next time someone comes up to the ship, they can just grab all this wood. Oh yeah, one thing to be careful about, make sure you never vote for the harder planets. They are just unbelievably difficult. Alright. I guess we'll bring 2 TP sticks. Yeah, so if you're not high enough rank and you don't go knowledge, you just can't go up to the ship. So that's something to keep in mind. So the last thing I'll show off here real quick is called the Pac-Man. The Pac-Man gives you an extra inventory that's accessible by clicking that, and you can upgrade it for 2,000 gold. So it's terrible value, but if you have nothing else to spend your money on, there are worse things you could do. Alright, so that thing's inventory is full. Real quick, before I go down to the planet, I'm going to give one last iron ore purchase, and then I'll go join everyone else. Perfect. So, let me just upgrade this. Alright, now I can give a go at nuclear waste. First try. So what that means is, now that I have a neutron bomb, you know what, I'll leave it here. But the neutron bomb, oh, I should have used that last inventory slot. The neutron bomb is, as I mentioned, completely useless. It sells for quite a bit, but its only utility is being used for the neutron. Yeah, so I think what they were actually asking earlier was what's the lowest rank you can access, like the training facility, and it's corporal. But I thought they just meant what's the lowest rank in the game, and the lowest upgraded rank is Lance Corporal. To become a corporal, I think you need 25 points, so these guys are almost there anyway. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to get another steel bar so that I can create a neutron gun. One thing that's very important, you want to make sure that you create the neutron gun on the ship, because if no one has level 10 accuracy, then you can just leave the item on the ground and lose the most valuable item in the game. Alright. So you might notice that the Pac-Man is completely invisible. The way that works is the Pac-Man is just this really tiny unit that follows you. I don't think you can even see its circle. But essentially, it's just extra item slots, expensive item slots. But yeah, 2,000 per slot. So pretty useful if you're a builder. Kind of useful if you're playing as, if you just need extra slots. Because like I can store this neutron bomb in here. You know, in reality, I also probably should have put the nuclear waste in there, because that thing's invulnerable, so it can just hold it forever. Very important to make sure that I build enough. Let me just use another electromagnetic grenade here. I was saving those for this planet, specifically for the tree waves. 1.2. Yeah, so he needs some gold to repair his stuff. Alright, so get another. Oh, we're out of Thunderbloom, which is completely fair. In reality, I should have utilized the time on the previous planet much more efficiently. Alright, another failed iron bar. So it looks like our problem here is actually just we're focused too much on the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and move to the top. And as always, make sure you steal units when possible. Okay, so those lasers, that's one of the upgrades from the command ship. But you notice they're kind of like pea shooters. Like, I think they do like 300 damage, so it's not even enough to kill any units. But it's amusing. Alright. Yeah, I'm just saving my gold at this point, because if you send all your gold and you need to repair stuff, you're gonna wish that you had some gold. Alright, what's this guy pinging? Oh. Nope. Here we go. Alright, another fail. Any units to steal? Alright, making another electromagnetic grenade here. Also, something that I'm mentioning, this game I'll be going just because there's so many different classes and I'm not showing them off. In reality, I should have done this for Terrania as well, and maybe I'll go back and do that at some point. But I'm going to make a separate video called, like, Survival, Warcraft 3 Survival, the classes or something, and I'll show off all the different heroes and all the different professions. It'll probably be like a 15-minute video because it's not too much to show, but yeah. Just important to cover that because there are actually a key element in the game, and I'm only showing one small avenue of what your gameplay might be looking like. Alright. Oh, so we're actually fighting the boss here. The green number above the boss, I don't think I mentioned this yet, is the amount of HP they have on top of their health bar. So basically this guy has 10,000 HP and an extra 41,000. So what that essentially looks like is each time you hit him until you get through the 40,000, his HP just keeps jumping back up to full. Alright, I'm going to use another electromagnetic grenade here. So, yeah, each time his HP jumps back up to full for 35,000 hit points, and then after that his HP bar will decrease. Thankfully, our herb bed didn't die, which is good, but it looks like most of our towers did, which is quite bad. Yeah, so this guy just keeps spawning large waves of enemies. I guess now is the time to use another electromagnetic grenade in a moment here. Alright. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. Looks like someone killed all of them. Okay, found a lodestone so I can make another grenade. I'll just pick up this one. Yeah, that's one thing I wish was a bit improved in Warcraft 3. Sometimes items just stack on top of each other. You just can't actually get to them. There we go. Alright, now seems like a decent time. Alright, and we're almost through this boss. Oh, here's a fun little fact. You can take control of bosses. However, if you choose to do so, you'll only gain control of them for like 0.2 seconds, and then they'll return back to the enemy. So, I mean, theoretically, if you were being extremely vigilant, you could maybe take the boss, and like if you were rapidly pressing some hotkeys, maybe you could get an ability off. But, probably not. Alright. So, hopefully we'll be able to keep our restoration tower, and, alright, I guess we killed the boss, and it looks like Corporal Flower absorbed the blunt of the EXP. I was unfortunately pretty far away. It doesn't seem like I got much out of that. Alright, so there's another electromagnetic grenade. From what I recall, waves, the future waves in this level aren't, you don't require electromagnetic grenades quite as much, but still, it's better to have more than less. So that's why I'm going to keep trying to make some more of these. Yeah, so we have one tower. Yeah, so this boss, this is a preview of the third boss on the map. I don't really know why he's here, but essentially he just kind of screws with you for like a minute, and then he leaves. So if you can survive the Infernals, which honestly aren't that powerful, then you can get to the true second wave. It's actually really hard to see my allies' health. My problem with Warcraft 3 is that if you use the show all health bars, then everything just becomes hard to see. But then if you want to individually see their health bars, it's like everything just gets covered by items, so that doesn't really work either. Alright, so let's find another lodestone here. There we go. Alright. Oh, there's an iron ore. Oh, and it's gone. So, alright. Okay. Oh, whoops. Thought I had picked it up. There we are. Alright, that's another electromagnetic grenade. Looks like some people have been just making electric liquid and dropping it on the ground. It's actually possible that most of that is from me. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention. On this planet and this one alone, the wooden enemies can drop bundles of lumber. So that's an alternative way to get wood if you don't have anyone going up to the ship to get any. Alright, so this is the second boss of the map. This is the Magma boss. The cool thing about this boss is that the third boss of this map allows you to steal the second boss of this map. It's pretty amusing. Also, one thing that's very important, you need to kill these guys quickly, because every, I'm just gonna say, 15 seconds, they duplicate. So if you don't keep them down while they're small, then you're gonna just be facing huge amounts of them. Now, one other thing worth mentioning, as someone else mentioned, is you want to save your mind control ability for the bigger bosses once they start to come. So maybe you take 2 or 3 of the small guys, but then save it for the bigger ones. Because in like 25 seconds, medium-large enemies will be coming, and if those guys duplicate, we're just going to get absolutely slaughtered. Alright, so is there any iron ore on the ground? I'm not seeing any. Also, these guys have just tons of stuns. So yeah, their 2 abilities are stun for 1 second and go invulnerable for 2 seconds. However, the bigger guys, I want to tell you that once you get to the second biggest guy, their stun's like 2 seconds, and then the boss can stun you for 3. So, and if you get chain stunned, it can get overwhelming real quick. But going back to what I said earlier, the cool thing about the duplication is that it actually applies to your units as well. So you'll notice that I have 2 guys up here, a couple guys over here. I'm actually going to use an electromagnetic grenade here just because there's so many of them. They're kind of getting out of control. Yeah, that was actually a fantastic chain. That killed like almost every single one on the planet. Alright, so I'm just going to take that. Okay. Well, that's a demonstration of how not to use communicate. Weapons that were fired, I guess weapons, before you were, so if they fired while the unit was an enemy, they can still hit the unit once you convert it to an ally. So if you take a unit when it's on 1 HP, like I just did, they can just immediately die. Alright, some useless gold ore. There we go. Alright, gonna steal this unit, and probably... See, I just can't perfectly remember when the bigger guys come. Also, these green shots are the neutron gun, so you'll notice that he's able to hit these guys while attacking that one. The acquisition range on the multi-shot is actually enormous, so if you just shoot anyone, odds are, if there's another unit on the map, it will be able to hit it. Alright, another lodestone. That one wasn't as good as the first one, but it's okay. Yeah, he's right. If you get overwhelmed, then you're just going to keep getting overwhelmed. Thankfully, I have been building up some electromagnetic grenades, so these aren't game-losing buildups. Also, now that I've leveled up this quite a bit, my mining pick only costs 11 mana. I believe level 20 profession is maximum, so that's just where that will end. Another thing worth mentioning that I kind of find amusing, abilities become cheaper as you get more proficient, and while I think that makes perfect sense, you're more skilled at doing it, so obviously you'd be more efficient. The part of it that doesn't quite make sense is once you reach the point of the game where those cost less mana, your mana pool and regen are higher anyway, so the reduced consumption rates are just like, you don't even need them at that point. Alright. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Alright. Got another iron ore here. There we are. Okay, we finally succeeded on that, which means I'll be able to go into the next phase of attempting to get the neutron gun. So I need to find a power crystal. Thankfully, my allies, the archaeologists in particular, have been generous enough to leave some on the ground for me. So I'll move the neutron bomb back into my inventory, and then I will attempt to make the gun. And go figure, first try. So now I just need to pick that up with my little Pac-Man here. I think he's able to pick up items. Alright, let's see if we can get that. There we go. So now the item is safely stored in my Pac-Man. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a Pac-Man or a player with level 10 accuracy, don't build that on the floor. Because you don't want to waste that. But, yeah, so once I reach level 20 accuracy, I now have that gun stored away for myself. But because I care more about my allies, I'll see if anyone is level 10 accuracy besides the guy who already has a gun. Yeah, that was inaccurate wording. Alright, so it looks like McTroll might have it. I can't even tell where he is. He's over here? Oh, he's down here. Oh, I could give it to him. To be honest, though, he's got little pea shooter attacks. Alright, but you know what? Why not? So once this guy's invulnerability phase ends, I'm going to steal him. Once again, just very important that you steal those guys. Other cool thing is that they can stun the boss and duplicate. Alright, let me just drop this here. Oh, man, this thing is just so... like, where... I really wish they would tell you where the little guy was behind you. Alright, well, another time. Alright. So, yeah, just make sure the second that... holy cow. Yeah, this boss shoots out massive DPS balls. Thankfully, our healer is doing a good job. Because 2 of those... I think that's all it takes. I think 2 of those can kill you. And that's with power armor. So if you don't have power armor, those are probably going to one-shot you. I don't think this boss would even be possible without it. This boss is a strange one because he's actually... his DPS is actually relatively low. It's really just a lot of waiting. Alright, here we go. Come on. Oh, blue got it. Fine with me. Okay, looks like I took another big shot. And then I'll use my little duplicating minions here. You'll notice that I am up to... who is he? Did he die or... I'm not sure. I don't know if he was alive. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, just using these auras because I have the mana. I guess I'll show off these auras. 50% damage, I believe, and 6 armor. I got 2 sitting up top. Talking about that guy? What's he talking about? Oh, stone towers. Okay. Health stone. 1 hit point per second, 300 if consumed. Not bad. Alright. I guess because I might as well use the mana on something. Oh. Just gotta really snipe that little dude. There we go. Yeah, I think the reason why he gave me this healing stone is so that if he doesn't heal me in time, I can resurrect. Well, not resurrect, but give myself a burst heal before the next boss missile hits me. Oh yeah, never showed these off. So these are God is the maximum rank in this game, and by reaching this rank, you'll get access to attack, teleport, defend, magnetic shield, physical condition, leadership, brilliance, and teleport to battleship. So physical condition gives you 30 movement speed, decent, 0.25 hit points, not really noticeable. The more noticeable part of the commander rank is 0.6 mana regen. When you are those low ranks, you are just so starved for mana that it feels terrible. But once you reach a higher rank, you'll notice that I'm almost always capped. Once again, though, that's partially thanks to our Templar. If you have... I highly recommend that any game you play of this, you get at least 1 Templar, because if not, it's actually quite a bit worse. Oh, wait. Someone just... What was that massive noise? Alright, so I'm gonna do like a massive missile bombardment against this boss. Each of these stuns, I think it might also only be 1 second. I think it's the same as the little dude one. Alright, so yeah, just once again, I keep kind of forgetting to do this. Try to make as many neutron bombs, or as many electromagnetic grenades. Like, I could, if I've been more vigilant, I could probably have like 15 by now. Alright. But also, if you haven't noticed, look how many of the guys that I have right now. Now imagine if each of these 5,000 HP units were on his side. You would get overwhelmed so quickly. What in the world was that? They just... Maybe they thought these were enemies? Like, that only does like 2,000 damage. Yeah, he did like 2,000 damage to a boss that has 40,000 life. It's like, well, why would you even waste the grenade? Alright. Okay. Iron ore. Nope. Okay. Another electromagnetic liquid. Looks like that one failed. Huh. I find that the success chance on that's usually pretty high. So failing 2 or 3 in a row is actually pretty surprising. Okay. So yeah, when it says the battleship tries to drop supplies for you, that's what these little first aid kits are. Kind of useless though. I want to tell you they restore 50 HP. So yes, it's not ideal. Or rather, not quite relevant enough to matter. Looks like the boss doesn't have any units right now. We've been doing a good job of that. Alright. Alright, thankfully this guy was paying attention here. He got down to 100 HP. So once this boss dies, I'm going to go ahead and warp up to the battleship. I don't know what he's... Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. Maybe he thought I was referring... Maybe if he's referring to the heal, I was just saying I needed one. Alright. There we go. Oh. Alright, let's see here. Let's make another electromagnetic grenade. Alright, and that's it for this boss. So I'm going to warp up to my ship. I'm now able to use the neutron gun because I have 10 accuracy. And hopefully I'll be able to make another one. I finally managed to get a steel iron bar again. So with any luck, I'll be able to make another one soon. Alright, perfect. That's another neutron bomb. So, just gonna move all my lava guys over here. No reason to have them in the middle of nowhere. Let's see if there's any more iron ore. Alright, I'm not seeing any, so I need to wait until I can get another iron bar. I'm gonna teleport up to the ship real quick because I need some iron. Oh, perfect. Alright, now I'm just going to warp back down to the planet, and with any luck, I'll be able to... So basically, yeah, with any luck, I'll be able to make another neutron gun. What you want to do with your little fire dudes here is just spam stuns on the boss. Also, once the boss's invulnerability phase wears off, the previous boss that we just fought is now capturable. I think his stun lasts for 20 seconds, so once that disappears, just be ready to take it. Because this guy can actually duplicate it as well. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, his deals 500 and stuns for 4. Alright, yeah, the best use for this guy's ability, hopefully we kill that guy soon enough. Nope. Just gotta click on my hero here. The best use for the boss's ability is to perma-stun the boss, as they said. If you don't do that, he's a lot harder when he's not perma-stunned. Alright, gonna steal this guy. Okay. Drop that on the ground real quick. Power crystal. Okay. Oh, I completely forgot that this ability was here. Didn't actually make more of these myself. Yeah, ideally, so... Oh, that's not good. Someone died. And it was dark green. He must have been standing too close. Alright, just gotta make sure I steal this guy. Hopefully, alright, there we go. Unit, stun the boss. If no one else needs a neutron gun, what you can actually do is save it for the you can put it in a scout tower. The scout tower is The scout tower is just able to use any weapon. So essentially you just have a tower that can hit 4 units with plus 50 damage. So it's pretty sweet. I could try to make some more of those. It's really not realistic. If I recall correctly, there's only one boss on the next planet, and that's it for this game. So, yeah. Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is, so I'll drop off my neutron gun and my Pac-Man. Once again, pick up that machine gun because it has better single target DPS. Also, the neutron gun has a huge amount of mana drain. So, yeah. Looks like we handily beat this boss, which is fantastic. Demon Flesh, if I recall correctly, is a completely useless item. Alright. So, moving on to the last planet. Pick up a lodestone here, get that last grenade going. I'm just gonna go luck, as I mentioned earlier, for the DPS. Warp up to the ship. Alright, so I guess for fun, I'll just take a couple extra Pac-Man slots. 5 is the maximum. I don't think you can buy a second Pac-Man, but I guess I could try that if I wanted. Oh yeah, once the this thing gets upgraded, you get the Restore HP ability. Does what you'd expect. Puts you back up to 4 HP, full HP. Oh yeah, so another thing, he upgraded this training facility, so it now has access to the EXP. Hopefully I clicked Phobos. That was I was not expecting that pop up. All right, it looks like I clicked it. We left an egg on lava map. Yeah, I'm just using my 20,000 gold to beef up You know what? I think I have enough HP. Once I hit 800, I'm just going to go all into agility. Because agility is my main attribute. You'll notice that I'm roasting through gold quickly. You only even get 1 damage for this, so. Alright, I'm just going to stop at, yeah, I'll stop now. Alright, dropping this so that I can get this better weapon. Hopefully I can pick this up with my Pac-Man. Perfect. Sometimes that works really well, and then sometimes it doesn't. Looks like things are going decently so far. Building really high on the map for some reason, but that's just because it's pretty small. Like, this is the whole map. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so as usual, just steal the units when you can. Whoa! Where did... I have no idea where these came from. This might be a bug. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before. What in the world? If this lava lord duplicates, that will be absurd. Oh my, this is actually unbelievable. Because we can start our own little army here, and depending on what the duplication time is, that's going to be a piece of cake. Alright, let's see here. Might as well take some of these chumps. Yeah, as you probably noticed, these lava lords are actually pretty bad DPS-wise. They only do 150, and these guys have 1200 health. Alright, looks like they won't duplicate in time, but if I spam this button, I should be able to make another lava ward. Lava warrior. Alright. I guess I can steal the... Alright, which of these is better? 50, 76, 1200. Alright, I'll just take these guys. And once again, I picked the terrible one. Okay. Oh, there goes our OP bosses. Okay. Looks like I picked up an iron ore at some point, and I refined it. Okay. So once this scout tower is done, I'll plop my neutron gun in there. Wait a minute. Okay, there it is. Alright, so once this is done, I'll move my gun in there, and then that will give us the equivalent of 3 neutron guns attacking. Yep, so this is what it looks like when you put a weapon in there. Just 10 plus 50, very fast attack speed. So it's kind of like just having another marine, which is excellent. So, wow, those guys are actually hitting quite powerfully. It looks like we only found 1 alien dome, and I guess that guy wasted it on planet 2, so that sucks. Alien domes make this planet way easier. Alright, so I'm going to warp back up to our ship here after I steal one of these chumps. Who am I going to take? Alright, whatever. I'm just going now. So that's one cool thing about this game. You can change... What's going on here? Oh, I guess there was just like a millimeter of cooldown left. Alright, so yeah, I was going to say, that's one of the cool things in this game. You can change professions at any time. There we go. I am now an archaeologist. That's actually a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to show off another class. So archaeologist is a 50 mana find items button. And what that does is it's kind of like the mine ability of the miner, except for the fact that it has a chance to pull up well, it just pulls from a different set of stuff. So like, as the archaeologist, if you use find items, you can find a power crystal, you can find a rune, you can find that's about all I remember. Well, that was lucky. So every time your profession levels up, your cooldown resets, and I leveled up 2 times in a row, so I got to go 3 times. Alright, is that a boss? I think that, yeah, that's the boss. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, since the machine gun has higher DPS, when fighting bosses, you really should swap over. Alien artifact. I don't know what this does, and it's not usable. Okay. If I can... Alright, so what I'll do here is I'll just run over here, see if I can get this neutron gun out. Yeah, maybe I... Oh, wow, I'm blind. So the Pac-Man follows way closer than I thought he did. So in reality, what I had thought... I just didn't realize it in the cluster before, but the Pac-Man is actually just a tiny circle a millimeter away from you. That's actually a lot easier to find than I expected. So when you identify glyphs, you get this stuff called energy. Those can be used for special abilities here. Not particularly useful. Yeah, he has a ton of health, but no abilities. So, yeah, it's not that bad. Alright, let's see if Alien Artifact 1... We should have it in the bag as long as we can keep this up. As long as we can keep this alive, is what I meant to say. Alright. Yeah, just unfortunately, since the boss is magic immune, all of these are completely useless, so I'm just completely relying on finding an alien dome before the game ends. 2, it's getting better. I guess what I'll do real quick is just go through all of these and show what they are. So, store energy. This skill starts consuming mana in order to create some energy. The skill consumes 2 mana every second and produces 1 energy for every 20 mana consumed. This skill stops if you ever use it again. You won't take any damage if you've enough energy while you are using Frost, Fire, Lightning, Earth power spells. So each of these just use energy, and I guess I could convert my mana into it, but seeing as the boss is magic immune, kind of pointless. Looks like that's how you get access to the volcano and stuff, though. If any of these were a healing ability, this would actually be decent. Increases the unit can only have generate mana or heal on at the same time. Well, since I think we're all full mana, well, I guess I can plop that on this dude. I don't know if that actually works, though. Nah, looks like it's working. Wait, transferring mana? Doesn't look like it. Okay, found a crystal. So yeah, identifying glyphs, you get an energy. I'm not even bothering because energy is worthless right now. Identifying power crystals, that's how you get those power crystal stacks. 8 actually might be one of the highest I've seen. If you combine, I think if you pick up 2 different stacks, you can combine them. However, I believe an individual stack can only get up to like 9 by itself, so that's almost perfect. Yeah, you could, as you can see, you really rank up quickly when you have sufficient mana to do stuff. I'm already rank 11, and it's been what, like 5 minutes. So this ability right here is one of the neat ones. This is called the warp gate, or not an ability. The building is called the warp gate. It allows you to freely move between the battleship and the battleground, I guess you could say, at any time. However, it's kind of a make sure the boss doesn't fall asleep. It's kind of a key example of one of those buildings where, because nothing transfers from planet to planet except for heroes and items that you are holding, it's just like, when are you going to build this? I think this thing costs like 3 steel bars, so you'd somehow have to waste 3 steel bars just to go between a battleship that you don't really need to go to. I mean, I think I've gone to the battleship 5 times this game, and I probably could have gone less. So, yeah, it's just, meh. So the boss has 100,000 HP. He'll die a little slower, but once this warp gate is complete, I'm going to go up to the ship and do a little showcase of the rest of the ship, since this is basically an AFK boss. It's 90,000 of doing nothing. It does 100 damage, but this thing has 53% damage reduction. It's just, now, as he said, if the oh, I found an alien egg. Neat. I don't think I have had the opportunity to summon this yet. The alien egg, as they mentioned earlier, summons a little red hydralisk. No reason not to use it at this point. 100 damage, very fast. So this guy probably does as much damage as the boss does. And, well, yeah, that's about it. 1,000 HP, really powerful on the first planet, okay on the second planet, a little bit weak on the third planet, and I mean on this one, it's AFK planet. So, let's just run through Constitution. 12 defense, 32% damage reduction, I guess, 40 movement speed, 0.4 health regen. This game is really frugal on the health regen. Like, 0.4 is not even noticeable. So for luck, we got 16% chance to do, I guess that would be a 3 times critical strike, and a 40% chance to evade attacks. So if you somehow got to level 30, I guess you'd probably have to do that via purchases. That's something. Alright, so I'm going to go warp up to the ship real quick and do my little demo now. Boss still has 75,000 HP. So to become a god in this game, I hope that guy's telling the truth. Well, it doesn't really matter. If the beetle actually died, we're in bad shape. That beetle was keeping us alive. This boss is actually a teeny bit scary without our little tank beetle. I mean, it's actually quite possible we could lose this game purely because that beetle died. Because we don't have anything else to tank with. Alright, alien artifact, banking. Is this the dome? I honestly have no idea. I don't remember what this thing does. The best one is Artifact 4, which is the dome. I guess I'll just do my little battleship tour in the next video, since it seems like we're actually in a little bit of a tough situation now. Yeah. I mean, he should have shared control, but you can't, so can't blame him for that. Man, that would suck, disconnecting right at the end. Alright, so I'm going to take my little dude here, drop that off. Now we got another neutron tower. Thankfully, with just very basic micro and healing, it looks like we're still doing alright. Alright, just gotta keep digging. I found a book. Yeah, figures. Alright, let's see here. Unknown archaeology item. Huh, neat. Tome of Intelligence. Okay. Oh, another alien egg, that's good. Yeah, you'll notice that it's still on cooldown. This thing has an unbelievably long cooldown. Yeah, basically if you just use very basic micro strategies, so like when they get low you just swap them out, they would all survive. But oh, what? Wow, that's crazy. The warp gate takes damage over time, apparently. That's already not a good item. Oh, that's almost unbelievable. Okay. Looks like I'm tanking for a little bit here. I don't really like tanking, but unlike the other players, I have an invulnerability spell, so I'm not as vulnerable as they are. Yeah, I think we got this in the bag. Alright. Okay. Well, looks like we got the commander went up to the ship and brought down some units for us, so that's good. The commander has the ability to train units. They're actually incredibly weak though. They do like 2 damage a hit, so they're practically worthless. But little meat shields could be worse. Alright, we've got through about 150,000 HP, only 10,000 more to go. Okay, boss is down to 5,000 health. I don't know how that's a windwalk, I can't even see it. I haven't got to this phase so long that I completely forgot this existed. Oh, and he's dead. Okay, now I'm gonna warp up to the battleship because these little oh no! Yeah, so this is the end of the game, guys. It has a very satisfying ending. You get these little weird-faced samey squares that can be attacked. They do 100 damage, and I believe if you just keep running, they don't. Okay, they do kill you. Alright, so we just one-shotted it. This was actually, you know what, it was shorter than I thought. Only an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, so that's it for this video. I'll probably post it same day that I upload this. I'll post the class demonstration video. All in all, pretty satisfying. You don't usually beat this game in one try, but we managed to get a couple of experienced players to play with us. and it went very well. So I'll see you guys next time. Oh, I guess real quick, better demonstration of the samey cubes. Oh man, come on. Alright, see you guys in the next video.